Yeah, what's going on, guys? The Yorkshire Biker here. So today we're in the shed, so apologies for the lighting. But what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you how to install on a 2011 Tiger 800 one of these little beauties, and this is a Denali SoundBomb. Whoo! So if that's something you're interested in finding out more about, stick around, stay tuned, and we'll get cracked on. Okay, so key on. Ignition's firing up. Right, if we just give the horn a press. That's the standard horn. Bearing in mind I am obviously in the shed. So just before we get cracked on with the install, what do you actually get in the box? So in the SoundBomb box itself, you obviously get the SoundBomb. I purchased what they call the SoundBomb Compact, so it has the horn and the compressor all built into one unit. It's a fairly chunky piece of kit. Oh, dropped it. It's a fairly chunky piece of kit. As you can see, it fills palm of my hand. So that's there. Also in the box with the SoundBomb, you will get a 30 amp relay. If you just look at the pins, they are set out in a particular way, so it goes onto the wiring harness and it will only fit one way. So as well as those two, you then get a nut and bolt. And that's to obviously mount the horn to the mounting bracket. Now, depending on what bike you've got, it depends on what mounting bracket you need. I went for just a standard 3-inch steel plate. I think it's steel. Now, I had to modify it a little bit because those holes are both quite small. But in order to get it to fit where I need it, I've had to drill one of the holes a little bit larger so you can see they are different in sizes. I think the mounting bracket works out at about £7. So you got those three in one box. That comes, it comes in the same packaging, but you have to order that separately. And then the wiring harness, you also buy that separately as well. Now again, this all depends on what bike you've got. I believe for BMWs and some KTMs and everything, they have a canvas system. So you can get a different wiring kit, but the one that I've bought, because it's on the Triumph, they call it just a plug and play. So you can see all the connectors on there. So you can see there for the battery, you got some for the horn, you got the spade connectors that connect up to your current spade connectors on the horn, and then you've got the socket for the relay. It's quite a lengthy piece of kit, so we'll start stripping the bike down and we'll figure out how it's all going to fit. Okay, so looking at the bike, I've tried to find the biggest space possible because it's a fairly chunky piece of kit, as I said. The only real place I think it'll fit, because I've got the crash bars, it's going to be around here somewhere, just to the side of the engine. Now, in order for me to mount it there, what I'm going to have to do is just take out that engine bolt. I don't know if you can see. I'm just going to have to take out that engine bolt, and the mounting bracket is going to have to go up behind there. So the mounting bracket's going to have to go up behind there. The bolt will go through this hole, and then that bolt will be going onto the horn. So what I'll do is I'll get that bolt out, we'll get the horn in place, and then we'll figure out the wiring harness. Right, so I've managed to get the horn itself in place. As I said, it's mounted to that engine bracket. I've tightened the nut up round the back. That's now in place, so you can see that that's not going anywhere. That's all tightened up nicely. So now that we've got that on, what we'll do is we'll get the wiring harness and we'll see where that needs to go. Okay, so apologies for the setup, but what we need to figure out, obviously all the wires come from the plug that the relay goes onto. So working these out, I can see that the shortest one are the wires that go to the battery. So wherever it needs to go, we need to take that out. We need to take that into account. Now the longest wires are the ones that connect to the spade connectors on the original horn, and obviously the connectors for the SoundBomb. So what we'll do is we'll get the relay connected to the wiring harness, we'll connect that lead up to the battery, and then we'll figure out where the rest of it needs to go and figure out the tidiest way. Right, so we now have the battery terminals all connected up. As you can see, they're all on there, ready to go. I did forget to say that you do also get 4 tie wraps with the wiring harness as well. So now that's all done, we only really need to find a place for the spade connectors and the horn. I've stashed the relay down there in the where all the other relays are. Obviously that stays dry, so there shouldn't be any water ingress there. But I've been looking, in order to route these 2 cables, I think it's going to be easier to just remove this side panel. And that's just done by a small hex bolt there. Get the right sized Allen key. We should be able to get that off, no problem. Oh. Get the bolt out of there so we don't lose it. And that panel just pulls off of there. Okay, so there we have the airbox. I think what we'll do is we'll route the wires down underneath there, because I don't want to trap any here because of obviously that plastic side panel and the seat needs to go on. So I'll route them down through there, and I think the best way, because the horn's here, I'll just route them around the top of the the airbox inlet, and we'll have them hidden up round behind the frame because there's already some wiring there, so that should be probably the best place to put it. So I've now got the power connectors hooked up to the horn, but it appears I'm left with quite a bit of wiring, so I'm just going to have to hide that somewhere, and we'll get cracked on with connecting the spade up to the horn itself. Right, so the wiring harness is it's all fed through the bike, everything's connected, the horn, the relay is connected to the battery, the wiring goes up the inside of the frame, it goes right up the centre of the bike up there. If we just come round to the front, you can see what I mean. The wiring harness plugs in to the existing loom on the bike, so those black connectors there are what connects to the original horn. So everything's plugged in, we should be ready to go. So what we'll do is we'll just get the key, turn it on, and we'll give it a little bit of a test. So we'll just have to press the horn. Here goes. Oh, Jesus! Oh dear. Yep, that is very loud. So what I'll do is I'll get the bike put back together, we'll get it tidied up, and then we'll come back to this tomorrow. I'll be out on the bike and we'll give it a bit of a test on the road. Right, so I've nipped out. I ended up going to Squire's Cafe, but it's a little bit too busy there, so I'm just having a little bit of a ride around. Found a little lay-by. It goes up to a farm, I believe. But yeah, as you can see, I've now got the Denali SoundBomb fitted. That's down there. So obviously we tested it in the shed. We'll just give it a test outside just to get a true thing of it. Wow. Very loud. So I've read up, it's apparently 120 decibels, so that's 4 times louder than a normal bike horn. And I have used it and it does get people looking. So although it cost me about 70 quid in total, so far it's earned its money because it's saved my life basically. Okay, so that's how to install a Denali SoundBomb. I do apologise for the editing on this vlog. I've run into an issue with the laptop, so I've had to edit this one on the phone, so unfortunately it's not going to be the best of quality. But if you want to support the channel, don't forget you can do that via Patreon. It's patreon.com/tyb93. I will put the link to that in the description below. But as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and as always, ride safe, keep your sticky side down, And until next time, I love you all.